want to thank you, Steve Tucker, Morbid Angel, for doing this for us. If you could, real quick, if you could just give Metal Inferno a shout out, if you would.
Well, I didn't hear what you said. Give Metal Inferno a shout out? Is that what you said?
Yeah, if you would, just for.
All right. This is Steve Tucker. You're listening to Metal Inferno.
Man, I really do appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Like I said, I'd like to thank you for your time and your efforts. I got a question for you here. This out of your first four albums for the band are often hailed as a Rosetta Stone of the death metal industry, and along with Morris Sound recording studios in Tampa, Florida, in the late '80s to early '90s, helped to lay down the template for much of the music that was to follow. It's been my experience that underdogs have more fight and less complacency. Where does one go from there? Or is it understood that one can't have a career highlight or peak without the eventual dissolution of the valley?
Well, man, I think everything has ups and downs, and I mean, I honestly, I don't know where Morbid Angel's at. Right now it seems like we're kind of doing pretty good, but yeah, man, I think that dude, the band's been around so long. First of all, I mean, no one would have guessed that not just Morbid Angel, but death metal as a whole would be a genre of music that would continue for over 30 years. And I mean, honestly, it for me, it speaks volumes to the quality of the music. And I mean, dude, it's the thing about being in a band like Morbid Angel is Morbid Angel's been one of the front runners, man, for a long time. And I mean, with that comes the pressure of always having to deliver, dude. So I think that underdog thing. I think, dude, we play death metal, so regardless, man, we still sort of have that underdog sensibility, dude. It's just part of us. I mean, like, I just think that it's part of the makeup that makes a person play death metal.
Oh, absolutely. I'm glad you feel that way. I couldn't agree more. It's not the size of the fight, right? The dog, but the fight in the dog, right?
Yeah, I mean, it depends, like sometimes a big dog will win on sheer strength alone,
Absolutely. Okay, you probably get sick of this next question, but I'm going to throw it in there anyway. That's kind of how it goes. Did I miss the ABCs of death metal with Morbid Angel because I got lost after I? So I'm to guess that the titles no longer adhere to that chronology anymore, so I would be next. Damn, that Juvenile EP has got me confused.
Oh, dude, you know what? I've never even heard that. I've never even heard that EP, dude. I literally have never even heard it. To be honest with you, dude, the whole what happened in Morbid Angel when I wasn't in Morbid Angel, I have to be honest with you, just as a, kind of person I am, I really don't give two fucks. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. You know what I mean? It didn't involve me whatsoever.
Oh, absolutely. I just, it was an interesting thing, and I think a few of us kind of lost the ABCs there of it. But yeah, thanks for answering that and clarifying it. But I agree, it's really kind of second place. But with your newest from Kingdom's Disdain, what would you consider the standout track, or would it be the single for Pile of Arms, which honestly seems to me an Apocalypse Now reference?
Arms would be, I mean, that's why it's at the beginning, man. It's a pretty nasty song from the get-go, and the riffs in it are pretty churning, and it is definitely an Apocalypse Now reference, man. I mean, it's something that we yeah, I mean, it's it's a movie, it's a favorite movie of ours, and just the whole idea of that part in Apocalypse Now, the whole they'd rather chop their arms off than have your fucking your diseases, man. It's a beautiful thing to me, in a very passive aggressive way, with our now society. I mean, that's not something now that is really going to be a part of our world. I mean, people get in line and just take their hand out and take their shot. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Just out of curiosity, what do you think of the Island of Dr. Monroe? I mean, I'm a huge Green Day fan myself.
What was it again? Could you repeat it? You're kind of low, bro. I'm sorry.
I think I have my mic facing the wrong direction here. Does that help? What do you think of the Island of Dr. Monroe?
The album what?
The Island of Dr. Monroe.
I still can't even hear you. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's all good. We'll move on to the next one.
Yeah, I apologize, man. I mean, like, it sounds
fine.
like you're in a box somewhere,
Yeah, no doubt. Morbid Angel have been figureheads within the metal community for nearly 30 years. However, the last album was not a critical success by any stretch of the imagination, but might have been a learning experience. How do you respond to those that hold one album out of nine in such low regards?
Bro, again, I got to tell you, I wasn't involved at all during
Yeah,
that album, so I really don't give a shit. You know, like literally, it's one of those things where it's like I'm not making excuses for anybody. How you doing, little dude? Sorry. This
it's
go,
all.
you know, like I'm not making excuses for anybody. I'm not making excuses for the band. I'm not saying anything except, dude, I wasn't involved in that. So, but as far as dude, I mean, I was pretty hardcore myself about stuff like that, dude. If Judas Priest suddenly, when they did the Turbo album, I about shit my pants, brother. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, what is this crap? This isn't Judas Priest. This isn't what I know and love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, dude. I'm in a gas station, bro.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good.
I'm traveling and shit.
Oh, yeah, I understood. I probably have
I get
just a
still up on
terrible
five.
connection here, but your overall approach on this
Can you
outing.
just hold that and it's on five. Yeah, I'll hold it. I'll be right back. I'm sorry, bro. Go on and ask that again.
Okay, your overall approach on this outing has more depth. It must be perceived as a backlash from Ilia Divinium Insanus, which seemed intentionally overproduced, stagnant, and had that soul digitized out of it to the redundancy.
Dude,
What?
listen, I don't know why you want to keep fucking talking about that album, but I'm not going to answer another fucking question about that album.
Okay,
I've
I
already
understand.
answered that thing 2 times telling you I was not involved in that album. I'm not going to fucking talk about the fucking album,
Okay,
bro.
I completely understand, man. I do.
Okay,
I
man,
really
then
do.
please don't ask me another question about that album.
Okay, no
I was
problem.
not involved in that, brother.
Okay.
That album would have never fucking happened if I was involved.
Hey,
It's that simple.
absolutely, I agree 100%. I get to once upon a time, the rhythm section was the spine of a band, and everything was created around this as an exoskeleton or support. Now we have a myriad of varying approaches that lead to virtuoso solos, wayward finger noodling, and frontmen that offer nothing of lasting value to compositions. Do you find that problematic as a self-described team player?
Bro, you know what I think the problem is? I think there's a lot of people out there that are raised by single parents and they're single they're standalone kids that are spoiled fucking rotten and then they
Yeah,
can't be in a fucking band together. That's why I think you got all these one man bands that exist right now because we live in a society that no longer it's not a family, it's not a group, it's all these little people and their own individual issues and their own individual bitches and their own individual pleasures, dude. You know what I mean? That's why it's like, kids don't play sports together. Kids don't play together, dude. They get on Xbox and they fight with each other and call each other fucking names from hundreds of miles away, knowing there's never going to be a repercussion, dude. So how the fuck can you expect them to get along in a band, dude? Being in a band is like being married to four other motherfuckers or three other people, and it's not easy. It's not easy. I mean, you're talking about people who want to create from nothing. I mean, everybody thinks that being in a band's some big joke, but what you're literally doing is you're creating music from nothing, dude.
yeah.
Shit never existed, and now here you have music because of these people working together. And often, when you get creative minds together, it causes clashes, dude. You know what I mean? So it's all difficult anyway. And then you throw in spoiled brat syndrome, and it becomes nearly impossible.
Oh, I agree. The collaborative process is quite hard to do. Like I said, I just wanted to thank you real briefly. And this is going to be the last question. It has nothing to do with anything. Just do you have any uplifting messages for your adoring diehard fans, of which I am one? And what's in the near future for you?
Man, I mean, dude, I'm doing what I've always wanted to do. I mean, I play death metal, brother. I make money playing death metal. It's about an impossible thing to accomplish on our planet, yet somehow I've done it. So, man, I'm going a day at a fucking time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally, because it's nothing like it was 15 years ago, and 5 years from now, it's not going to be anything like it is now, man. So I'm taking it as it comes.
Well, I'd like to congratulate y'all on your newest album and your continued success. And I really would like to thank you once again for taking time out of your busy schedule and your road trip and dealing with everything you have to deal with to deal with people like me. So I really
Not a
would like to
problem,
thank
brother.
you. All
Not a
right.
problem, man. You have
You
a
have
great
a
day.
good one. You have a good one,
Thanks, man.
man.
Bye.
Later.